Hello and welcome. This is Angie with thecountrysheetcottage.net. Today we're going to talk about mats. Specifically, I'm going to compare the Cricut mats with two off-brand mats that I found on Amazon. So let's take a look at the mat brands that we're going to use and then let's put them to the test. Here are the mats we're going to test. So first I have a brand new Cricut brand mat and we're going to test the light grip on all three brands. The next is from Amazon. It's Nicapa, N-I-C-A-P-A. Again, from Amazon, and this one is called Funnygame. Now, I just picked randomly on Amazon. They all looked about the same, but I picked two brands. So the mats themselves, besides the brand name on them, I probably could not tell them apart. This one in the middle is probably a little bit lighter in color. These two are pretty much exactly, this one might be a little darker. So the colors might be different, but the measurement markings are the same. And they all say light grip in the corner of each, in each corner, opposite corners. So otherwise I probably wouldn't be able to tell them apart. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run through some cuts with these. I'm gonna use the same cardstock, different colors perhaps on all these because I have something I need to cut a bunch of. So I'm going to cut a couple sheets on all of these same cardstock, see how they cut first of all, and then we'll maybe stick some vinyl and stuff to them after we've used them a little bit and see if we can tell a difference in the stick itself. So I have several sheets of cardstock, all out of the same paper pack, all the same brand, and I'm going to stick one to each of these mats just on camera so we can get a feel for how well it sticks brand new. Then I'll run them through my Cricut machine several times and then we'll stick some things to them and see how they stick when they aren't new. So Cricut one does well. And this one feels a little stickier actually. So we'll put cardstock on there. This one, the stick, as far as like bringing it off, felt really similar to the Cricut. I'm gonna head to my Explorer, I'm gonna cut a bunch of paper, come back, tell you how I think each of the mats performed, and then we are going to stick some more things to these mats and see how sticky they are after I've used them for a bit. So now that you see these mat brands, I want to talk about one thing before we get started on our test, and that is smell. So the Cricut mats, if you used them years ago, had a very loud smell to them when you took them out of the package. And Cricut has worked on that over the years, and it has gotten so much better. I will say that the off-brand mats do have that smell. I would say that the Nicapa or Nicapa smells a little bit, and the Funnygame version really reminds me of those original Cricut mats. So if you used those before and the smell bothered you, then you might want to put that into consideration as we do our testing. Here are all three mats with the first sheet cut, and you can see I cut the exact same thing from all three. I feel like the results are similar. You can see I already took away everything from around the outside edge. Super similar. I'm actually going to cut the same design again, just making it a little larger so there's fewer on a sheet, and cut three different colors of cardstock with each mat and just see what happens. This is my second cut with each of these mats. So I will say that the Nicapa or Nicapa is stickier than the other two. I will say that. So when you're removing things, it's a bit harder to remove off of this one. Obviously, all three of them cut fine on the second cut. So I'm going to go ahead and remove everything from both these mats, and then we'll try sticking some more stuff to both of these and see what happens. Now I'm going to take each of the mats and I'm going to take a sheet of adhesive vinyl and a sheet of heat transfer vinyl. I'm just going to stick it to the mat and remove it like 5 times and not do any cutting with each one, and just see if I see any difference between how they stick and how well the mat wears, putting the vinyl on and then taking it off. And then we'll come back and look at those results. I actually stuck the vinyl and the HTV to these mats 10 times each. And I'm really not seeing a difference between the mats. So I have a piece of cardstock now, and I'm going to stick that to the mat and peel it off 5 to 10 times and see if I can tell a difference between the longevity of the mat and how long it'll last. I feel like after sticking cardstock to each of these 10 times that I'm finally starting to see some differences in the adhesive. So I'm going to cut hearts out of the same piece of cardstock on all 3 mats. And let's just see how they cut at this point now that I've stuck quite a few materials to them over and over again. We'll just see how each one performs in my Cricut. So now I've ran all 3 through my Cricut, and we'll just start peeling this off to see how our cuts are on each one. So this is the Cricut brand. This one is the Funnygame. And finally, this one is the Kneecappa or Nycappa. So still, all of them are super similar in their performance. So I do believe that they would be similar overall over, several projects. Not really enough difference in them to tell which is better and which is worse. So let's talk about pricing. All right, so now that the testing's done, you see that there's not a ton of difference between the mats. So I would say that the Kneecappa or Nycappa, I had mentioned that the grip was a little stronger at first. The adhesive is way different as well. Not different bad or different good, just different. The other 2 had a really similar feel to the adhesive. So the adhesive was super similar between the Funnygame and the Cricut. But again, I will say that the Funnygame smelled the worst as I was using it. The smell does dissipate after a while, but when you first open that brand new mat, you'll definitely get that really strong smell. If that bothers you, I would definitely steer clear of the off-brand mats. Just look for the Cricut mats on sale, stock up when they're on sale, keep them on hand, clean them as many times as you possibly can and get the most life out of them. That's what I would recommend. Otherwise, if I was to choose between, so for me, I'm probably just going to buy the Cricut mats on sale, actually. But let's just say that those are off the table and I wanted to buy one of the off-brand. I would probably buy the Funnygame, and I would leave it out somewhere, let that smell go away before I actually started using it. That's kind of what I would do. It does really smell when you take it out of the package. But otherwise, I felt like it was super similar to the Cricut mat. So hopefully this answers your questions. I know there are a ton of different off-brand mats on the market. I can't test them all. I just picked a couple that looked like reasonably priced. If we want to do a quick price comparison, just like looking and glancing, like the Cricut mat was, I would say $7 a piece, and I don't even think that was on sale. The Kneecappa was like less than $5, and the Funnygame was like less than $4 each. So it was not quite half the price. But if you're looking to save money, that's definitely a place where you can do it and still use your Cricut machine. So hopefully this helped you. If it did, please give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions about anything we've covered, feel free, drop down in the comment section, ask away, not a problem. If you haven't already, head on over to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. We do videos like this all the time where we compare different things and see what works best. If you like that kind of thing, you'll definitely want to hit that subscribe button. So thank y'all so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.